Quote number 1. All truth passes through 3 stages. First, it is ridiculed. Second, it is violently opposed. Third, it is accepted as being self-evident. This means that reality in the first stage goes through rebuttals. In the second stage, it goes through severe criticism. In the last stage, truth is accepted easily as being self-explanatory. Truth is a very difficult thing to discover. One needs to be very intelligent and patient. For example, in Galileo Galilei's time, people believed that the Earth was the center of the universe. But Galileo was able to discover the truth that Sun was the center of the universe. So in his time, he was belittled and he faced severe criticism. After that, Galileo was sentenced to life imprisonment for this truth because the other people at that time were not ready to accept his discovery. Today, this fact has become self-evident. One thing to learn from this is that we should always try to find the truth in everything no matter how much criticism we face. Quote number 2. Just remember, once you're over the hill you begin to pick up speed. This means that once you have faced the struggle at the start of career in your life, you begin to speed up because now you get into a state of flow where everything seems easy. The most difficult time even for the most successful people are the beginning of their work. For example, for writers, it is very difficult to start because they have to exert the most amount of the effort in the beginning. Even literally, when a runner starts climbing a hill, it is very tough because the surface is inclined and more work has to be done by the runner scientifically to climb. But once at the top, he or she picks up speed and start to move fast. One thing to learn from this is that we should exert all our efforts into something that we want to do because it is always tough at the start, but once you start meeting your goal, it will become easy and will keep becoming easier. Quote number 3. Great men are like eagles, and build their nest on some lofty solitude. This means that people who make it big in life are actually like eagles because they build their empires high above the ground somewhere where they are alone. For example, there are some companies in the world which are monopolies, for example, Google, Facebook, Microsoft etc., which can be called the eagles in the world of the internet. They have built the kingdom way above others on lofty solitudes. But this kind of solitude at such great heights does not happen quickly. Even the brightest of people have to go through severe challenges to reach these kinds of heights. There are also some other similarities between eagles and great men. Eagles have a strong grip, are free and at peace, have a strong eyesight and fly very high in the sky. Similarly, great men have a stronger grip on the problems they are trying to solve, are able to achieve both financial and life freedom and are at peace, are able to see ahead of time and have a great vision, and they fly and make it big in life. One thing to learn from this is that we should try our best to be great and build up our own individuality in whatever is it we are doing. Quote number 4. Wealth is like seawater. The more we drink, the thirstier we become. And the same is true of fame. Literally, this means that having expensive possessions or a lot of money or having widespread reputation is like having seawater which contains salt in it. The more you drink, the thirstier you feel. According to economics, needs and wants are unlimited, so no matter how much a person gets, he or she will always be ready for more. There is a certain amount of money that we need in order to sustain our current lifestyle. This means that this is enough money for us. But enough should actually mean enough, because if not enough, you will fall into the bottomless pit of wealth which can never end. Fame is also similar to money in the sense that there is no limit to how famous people can become. More and more fame actually makes you thirstier. One example of this could be film actors or actresses, because they are ones people recognize a lot. If fame gets to an actor's or actress's head, he or she can lose focus in work and he or she has more chances of failure. One thing to learn from this is that whether it is wealth or fame, these should be just enough in a person's life, because if not, then a person can fall into an endless trap of their thirst which keeps getting bigger and bigger. Quote number 5. We forfeit 3/4 of ourselves in order to be like other people. This means that in order to be like other people, we lose a lot of ourselves. We try to be like others which we are not, and we don't accept ourselves as we are. And it is not that we actually become like others. In reality, we suffer in 2 ways. We lose ourselves in this process and we fail to become like others. This happens because we actually go against our own basic nature. For example, if a person, who does not have interest in a particular field, tries to do it because people around him are doing it, the chances of that person succeeding are not very high because he or she is acting against his or her natural tendencies. One thing to learn from this is that we should try to be ourselves and act according to our basic nature. This will always help us achieve success in life. Quote number 6, talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see. This means that people who are actually capable are able to do things that other people can't do. But people who are actual geniuses actually do things that other people can't see and imagine of doing. For example, Christopher Nolan is a director of Hollywood who has made amazing films in subjects which are unique. The goal of some directors may be to increase the box office collections of their films and make them the highest grossing films. One fact about Nolan is that he gets 3 or 4 options for each shot, and after the production of the film, he spends a lot of time dividing the frame in every second. If the frame contains a cloud, he writes down notes on how much distance should the cloud be from the bottom of the screen. This is another level of attention to detail and of creative genius which no one actually thinks about. One learning from this is that we should try our best to hit the level of genius so that we increase our chances of success in life. Quote number 7, nature shows that with the growth of intelligence comes increased capacity for pain, and it is only with the highest degree of intelligence that suffering reaches its supreme point. This means that as your intelligence level grows, you are likely to increase your threshold of bearing pain. Additionally, at this level, suffering, at the level of body or mind, is at its peak. For example, an actor who is considered to be amongst one of the biggest superstars in the world, has developed his mind a lot over the years. The film industry is a tough industry to sustain yourself in. He also does action stunts himself in his movies, so he often gets hurt during the process, but he continues to work. This is the physical suffering he has to go through. But he has actually developed a capacity for pain. But we cannot imagine the kind of pressure he has to go through. Sometimes it is overwhelming because you carry a whole lot of weight of expectations from fans. This kind of pressure can cause a person to lose his or her peace of mind. This is the mental suffering. One thing to learn here is that being intelligent has many advantages, but the major disadvantage is that you have to suffer.